tell me, yeah, Orlando, I like your haircut, or no, Orlando, I don't like your haircut, you should kill yourself. Okay, it doesn't matter, just your opinion. Now I want to tell you how I got to doing what I want. This is not something that will lead you to think I want to grow wings on my back and to fly on my own. I want a second thumb just grow out of this in a couple of minutes. I want one little coin to spawn right here on my ear like a magician, and I just pull it out and have €1, one little coin. This is not magic. This is not something that requires you to light up candles or to pray some weird god that looks like a cow, I don't know, or just it has weird shapes that is like one eye. This is something that will lead you to be more mindful of your desires and to be more efficient at achieving them. To do what you want does not mean being a depraved human being, being hedonistic, being someone that just seeks the most pleasure or the less resistance, the path of less resistance like an animal or like nature does. To be capable of doing what you want means realizing that you have a goal, that you have a desire, and just doing whatever it takes to get there. Why? Because what you want is the goal. What you want is the magnificent physique. You want a beautiful body. You want a strong, athletic body of a young man, okay? Maybe you want that. But do you want to hurt yourself so damn much in the gym that you can't even do like this the day after? You wouldn't want that, like that is pretty useless. So doing what you want does not necessarily mean just doing what you feel like doing. Doing what you want means pursuing something greater at every time of the day. Let's say that you want to be strong, that you want to have an athletic body, or that you want to have a nice looking physique. You may feel like eating sweeties in a couple of minutes from now. I get that cravings too, like a nice ice cream from the nice artisanal ice cream from the ice cream shop below here on my blog. But do I actively spend my money to buy that? No, even though I feel like it, because I want something greater. Do I fuck up sometimes? Of course I fuck up sometimes. That's natural, everyone does. I really like this analogy. Do you ever bite your tongue while chewing food? Yes. Don't you have like 18 years of experience? Yes. So even the best athletes fail. It's just that we as humans have the right to make mistakes. So perfection is not our goal, it's our tendency. Some will get this. And doing what you want, to recap, means moving towards your goals at every time by listening to your desires. How can you do this? How can you acknowledge what you want, and how can you actively move and pursue them? By itself, this doesn't sound really hard, okay? I want a nice physique, I will go to the gym. From my experience, especially when you start young, when you start training when you're young, there will be a lot of resistance. You will be too poor, maybe you don't have money. You'll be too young. You'll have parents that are too strict. And you will end up like me, only having started to train 1 year in the gym 1 year and some months ago, while I trained for 4 years and a half. Like, you can see that I am okay, I am not small. You can't tell me that I am small because I am not. I am small I am small in comparison to, I don't know, a guy who goes to gym since the 80s. I'm just kidding, but you get what I started training in the gym in April 25. Why? Why didn't I start in January 2023? No, sorry, 2022. Because my parents wouldn't let me go to the gym. I didn't get to do what I wanted because of something else. What do you do in this case? How can you do what you want when you can't? When there is something bigger that imposes you another reality. If you cannot do what you want, you are fucked. A place where you cannot do what you want is prison. So you see that one of the worst things that can happen to you is physically made to strip away your freedom from you, to strip away your capability of doing what you want, of reaching your goals, of being your own boss, of being your own coach. So what do you do in this case? You do what you can. You pursue your goal by doing what you can. Later, I will tell you how to, in some cases, how to free yourself from a condition of impotency. Now, what I did was I bought a pair of dumbbells and I started training at in my house and at my park where I train in calisthenics. I got epicondylitis, tennis elbow, but that's because I'm a fucking dumbass. I was a fucking dumbass, and so don't get epicondylitis. Do this with your elbows, do a little of therapy like this, activate your muscles, your tendons, okay? Apart from this, I started working towards my goals anyway. I started training with what I could, with what I had. I got to 2024, December 2023, and my parents bought me this bench, this flat bench, and I bought myself with my savings 100 kilograms worth of cement weights. Then I bought even a cable. I bought some quite nice things, and I could work out decently in my home gym. Fast forward a year and a couple of months, I finally get my first gym membership, and I really can do what I want there. The time I started wanting something and me taking action were really close together, just a couple of days. The time I started wanting to make content and actually making content was really late. I think a year. I think it passed a year before I actually pressed record on my camera. But the time where I fully could do whatever I want in my training journey was late by 3 years and 3 months. That is a lot. That's a lot of fucking time. 3 years and 3 months. That's a jail sentence. That is a jail sentence. How can you do what you want in a position of impotency? I will now speak to a younger audience. Guys from 14 to 18, when you are still under your parents' authority in every way possible. I will tell you a story. 2 years ago, my parents didn't want me to ride my bike in winter, and they decided to deactivate my insurance. Just so you know, in Italy, if the police or a camera sees your license plates and they can search in on their computer and they see you without an insurance, it's a 5,000 euros fine. So I really didn't want to take my bike out without insurance. Plus, if you get into an accident, you have to sell the house. So I told my parents that I wanted to drive my bike. So I asked them, is it a matter of money? Because if it is, I will literally give you my savings so that you can buy me insurance. They told me, no, it's not about money. What is it about? They didn't give me a real answer. And I told them, okay, you can deactivate my insurance all you want. You can do that because it is your right, because you are paying for it. The bike is legally yours. I'm not legally I'm not your property. I am a human being. So you can stop me from driving my bike, but you cannot stop me from going wherever I want. So I told my mother, Mom, tonight, since I do not have my bike, I'm going to my friend's house by foot. I'm going to walk to my friend's house, even though it's night, even though it's cold, even though it's a little rain, even though it's raining a little bit. And I'm going to walk there. I'm going to walk 1 hour and a half instead of riding my bike for 15 minutes. I'm going to walk there because you can stop me from riding my bike, but you cannot stop me from going wherever I want. Like, you physically can't. I was 17 at the time. You physically cannot stop me. You physically cannot. You know what they did? A couple of days later, I was riding my bike with insurance. I was. They didn't have a real explanation for not letting me ride my bike. They didn't have that. They just wanted me to not take risks riding in the winter. I do not take those risks. If it's raining, if it's pouring in the streets, I won't take my fucking bike. If it's so cold that they will freeze my balls until I'm infertile, I won't take my bike. If it's snowing, I won't take my bike. You know when I will take my bike? When I want to go somewhere. I will take my bike, I will ride it. They couldn't stop me because I wanted something. And if there isn't a real reason for them to not want me to ride my bike, then okay, I'm going to walk there. I'm going to take the bus there. I'm going to pull out my thumb and go pit stop there. I don't care. They didn't want me to use my bicycle because the mortality is twice as high. They didn't want me to walk because 3 hours walk from my friend's house, while it would be a half an hour ride. So they activated my insurance. This is to explain to you that when you have strict parents, of course not psycho parents that they lock you inside your room. I'm talking to people who have strict parents, yes, maybe sometimes irrational parents, but who have parents that are normal human beings. Sometimes they can be illogical, okay? We are humans, they are allowed to be, but this doesn't mean that they can make you lose all your freedom. So what I did was I accepted their decision and I took action based on that. I couldn't ride my bike, so I would walk. I couldn't ride my bike, so I could ride my bicycle. So what I did there was I simply chose the other option. I simply accepted that decision. That's what you have to do. You don't have to scream, you don't have to cry, you don't have to get mad. Just say, okay, then I will do this then. It's not out of hatred that you it's not out of wanting to scare them. It's just that is your option.